I no longer believe Kevin Durant would become a Los Angeles Laker. I think Kevin Durant pretty much ended that rumor about a week ago when he flat-foot said joining LeBron James it could be a toxic situation. If anybody calls something toxic, I don't think they're going to join it. And obviously Kevin Durant understands the game of basketball and understands the politics behind if he goes and joins LeBron. And if they win 5 rings, they're going to always attribute those rings to LeBron James. I don't care if LeBron's like 45. You're going to always attribute them rings to LeBron James. Even if KD is the clear-cut better player of the two, it's just something that comes with that LeBron narrative. It's just tough to shake. I ain't say everything Kevin Durant said was wrong, but if you call something toxic, I feel as if though KD closed the chapter of him joining the Lakers. All right, so that leaves the New York Knicks as a possibility for Kevin Durant. I'm looking up at the Knicks like, yo, I think it'll be a great situation if you get Kristaps Porzingis back healthy. They got a guy in Kevin Knox who I believe will be good, and a couple other pieces. That Frank Ntilikina kid is better than I thought. Here's my thing, and I say this with all due respect to Kristaps Porzingis. One problem that Dirk Nowitzki had with getting a free agent to come to big city Dallas and big pockets Mark Cuban, I feel like, was the fact that Dirk wasn't with the he's foreign born, like he's not an American born player, and those language barriers and just some of that crossover with just being in the culture, in our culture, I felt like hurt the Dallas Mavericks in their peak with getting other free agents. You know, that's why I feel like they lost a lot of really good players, and then, you know, they were able to get a Canadian-born Steve Nash and a Jason Kidd who was always a mature player, but they were never able to get like a real star to go alongside Dirk Nowitzki, and they even then they still won a ring, right? But I feel as if though one problem with KD going to Kristaps Porzingis, KD's personality is already, I don't know, man. He's a little bit, I don't want to say off. I don't know the dude personally. I guess he's different, man. He's different. He's kind of sensitive. To kind of put Kevin Durant next to Kristaps Porzingis from a basketball standpoint, I love it on the court, but off the court, I don't know if Kristaps Porzingis has what it takes to convince KD to come to New York and play in the Garden. So if KD's going to become a Knick, it's got to be something that he wants to do. So maybe the Knicks is, right now I'm looking at it like, it's okay, but unless KD's got a Kyrie coming with him or a Jimmy Butler coming with him or someone that's free this summer, a Kawhi coming with him, I think the Knicks are a long shot at best. But that does leave another team. Let's go back to the Western Conference. So maybe Kevin Durant doesn't want to become a Los Angeles Laker, but there's another team in Los Angeles. And I don't know if you've looked up at the standings. It's very early in the regular season thus far. One team that's been pretty much top 4 since the season started in the Western Conference has been the Los Angeles Clippers. Now, I do expect them to lose some games, and definitely they won't be top 4 in the West. They'll struggle to make the playoffs, right? Lou Williams actually out with an injury right now. But the Clippers they're vying for a Western Conference they're vying for a playoff spot in the Western Conference. I'm looking at this team like, yo, they got some pieces, right? They got a lot of decent to borderline good players. And I think Tobias Harris, shout out to my Vol for Life, is leading that crop, him and Lou Williams. You got a guy in Lou Williams who's firepower off that bench. He's committed to being the sixth man. He embraces that role. You leave him there. And you got him for a really, what was he getting, like $8-9 million a year? That's very reasonable for a guy who's closing a lot of games for that Clippers team. He's comfortable there in Los Angeles. I think Lou loves his lifestyle there. It works for Lou Williams. You go add a Kevin Durant. You see, I felt like Russell Westbrook's personality was too much for Kevin Durant to stand up for himself. I think this Clippers team would be right up his alley. And, you know, the Clippers are have like $38 million in cap room this summer. They could theoretically go get a Kawhi and a Kevin Durant if the two wanted to pull like how the Miami Heat did it with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, and they took less. If KD wanted to take less, financially you can work it out with Kawhi. Financially you can work it out with a Kyrie. You know? And the Clippers could make more cap space if need be. They could trade away some more guys. Doc Rivers is the personality I feel like that works best with a Kevin Durant. Not too strong, but definitely not a weak guy either. I'm looking at this situation like, yo, if Kevin Durant wanted to submit his legacy to me as one of the top 20 best players of all time, because to me he's already one of the top 10 best talents I've ever seen. I ain't got him in my top 20 realm because he ain't showed me he could be the guy, a leader on a team yet, right? I don't know about this Golden State Warriors stuff, man. That team was really, really great without him. If KD wanted to submit his legacy, you go to the Los Angeles area. You don't join LeBron James, but you go get your own ship. You go become a Clipper. You bring that team up, because I'm going to tell you like this. If KD joins the Clipper, and let's say Kawhi doesn't come, nobody else comes. Right now, that Clipper team is better than the talent that the Lakers got. All due respect to Brandon Ingram, Kyle Kuzma, Rondo, Lonzo, that Clipper talent is much more mature than those young guys. We don't even know what some of those guys are going to become, maybe outside of Kyle Kuzma. I know what Tobias Harris is right now. I know what Lou Williams is right now. I know what he's good at. I know what he's not good. I know what some of these other pieces, Daniil Gallinari, Patrick Beverley, I know what he brings to the table. Okay? I'm just saying, if KD wants to go out on a limb, if he's tired of being with Golden State, you get 3 rings, 3 finals MVPs if they win it this year, go do something else. You bring the Clippers to prominence. They've always had the injury bug. They've never been able to get over the hump. Remember they had the Sean Livingston injury, the Michael Olowokandi bust, the Blake Griffin injury the first year. Then you had Blake, DeAndre, and Chris Paul. You thought things were going to go up from there, and you never reached your full potential because of injuries. Kevin Durant's not an injury-prone guy. You go get that Clippers team back to prominence. Oh, my goodness. That's a whole different conversation. That's like LeBron bringing a championship to Cleveland. If KD can get close, if he can get that Clippers team to the finals, you got to put Kevin Durant and his legacy in a different level. Got to put him in that upper. That's super impressive. And you know what? We'll see what KD does, but I think the Clippers are a real possibility for him. I think he shut that door on the Lakers last week. Maybe they was trying to send up some smoke screens. I believe KD. I think that Lakers window is closed, but I think that Clippers, be on the lookout for that Los Angeles Clippers. Doc Rivers, a very well-respected coach in this league. Lou Williams, a very well-respected player in this league. A lot of people don't know that. Lou Williams is in the Atlanta area, so I've seen him hoop a couple games this summer. Lou Williams is super respected in NBA circles, man. A lot of guys party with Lou Williams. I'm telling y'all, man, Lou Williams got a lot of respect. He could be the phone call that gets KD in town. We'll see. I came from nothing, but I want everything God has for me. I interview celebrities. I talk sports. I still represent the culture.
I got the kids. They are now tuned in.
Yo, we locked in right now, Mr.
TALIAFERRO'S.
Mr. Taliaferro. Shout out to Mr. Taliaferro.
You're watching Mr. Taliaferro TV.
Mr. Taliaferro TV. Here with the Triple B's. You can't do nothing but win.